Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unikrishnan.
Thank you.
And this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs and investors. Today we have with us Nandini Swaminathan, founder of a fashion blog called Sartorial Secrets. This is the third show in our 6-part series of the Blogger Edit, a partnership between the Entrepreneur Podcast and the digital Rosé, showcasing the journey of blogging. Welcome, Nandini.
Hi. Thank you.
All right. So just a brief intro. Nandini spends her time in Bangalore and graduated from Lady Shriram. She is also a community manager at Chumbak Design. And prior to that was a social media strategist at Ripple Links and a creative analyst at Yahoo. Again, Nandini, welcome to the show. Do tell us a bit about yourself and what's going on in your world today.
Hi. So I currently am working in marketing and doing a lot around social media and digital marketing.
All right.
I also run my fashion blog on the side. So it's like by day I'm a community manager at Chumbak and by night I'm a fashion blogger. So most of my weekends go in events and shoots and a lot of other stuff for my blog.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I have visited Chumbak. It's a great shop.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, tell us a bit about Sartorial Secret and what inspired you to start it.
Sure. So I've always had a keen interest in fashion, and I've often been asked advice for, advice from people that I know on how to dress up for a certain occasion or, how to mix and match and so on. So I've always had that knack for outfits and for fashion and makeup. And so I've been mulling over starting a fashion blog for quite a few years. But then, there was one point when I decided that, if I don't do it now, then when will I do it? So I decided to take the plunge and I got myself my own registered domain and started.
All right. So how long have you been blogging? I mean, what do you primarily blog about?
So I blog about I have 3 different sections on my website. So there's fashion, there's lifestyle, and there's beauty.
Okay.
So while the primary focus is fashion, I also write on in lifestyle I cover fine dining, and in beauty I cover beauty reviews and makeup and so on.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And I've been blogging I've been blogging on Sartorial Secrets for about 2 years now. But I've had different other blogs before that. So, in general, I've been blogging, say, for almost 10 years now.
Oh, great. So, what do you, what's your favorite part about blogging? At the same time, what do you dislike about blogging?
So, my favorite part is that I get to express myself in a way that connects with other people at some level. Like, it's always wonderful to know that when I've written something, there's somebody or the other on the other side of the globe or anywhere else who's consuming that content and who's finding some sort of a difference by reading that content.
Correct.
So and I love I love the process of creating content as well. So coming up with ideas and seeing them through so that they come out in the form of my blog.
All right. And what do you dislike about it? If there was one particular thing.
When it comes to blogging, so we get to connect with a lot of different brands and work with them. So I would say, as of now in the Indian blogging scene, then there's a lot that needs to be discovered. I would say I dislike the fact that people assume that blogging is a walk in the park.
Correct.
It isn't. Yeah. And brands often do not realize the potential or the value that they're getting out of working with a blogger. So, so when brands approach us, they somehow don't have the right, they don't have the right attitude towards us when they approach us.
Okay. And if you were to say that, if I were to ask you, what do you think is you or your blog one topic that you all are expert in?
In what sense?
Like, so if the blog, is it like if it was fashion, lifestyle, or fine dining, I mean, what would you say you're expert in which part of it? I mean, would fashion take a priority over all three?
Fashion would definitely take a priority over all.
All right, got it. So, what are your topics of interest? What inspires you to create new posts? And how regularly do you create new posts?
I try to create new posts every other week.
Okay.
Since I don't like to go like too many. I don't like to have too many gaps between posts. Because then it creates a kind of a like if people are looking forward to my content, then
Absolutely.
it's not good if I don't put out content.
Yeah.
So I do that, and I primarily look to. I have a lot of inspirations when it comes to blogging.
Mm-hmm.
So I follow blogs like Song of Style, and I follow Chiara Ferragni and a couple of other international bloggers, and I'm quite inspired by the way they create content. And I also look at current trends in search and I combine my knowledge in digital marketing and social media to come up with ideas.
All right. I mean, so how I mean, over time, how have you retained a unique voice as a blogger, or how have you created your own niche?
So I usually try to be extremely honest when I write, and most of the things that I write about, I have my own certain tone of voice that I use, which is something that I always try to keep authentic and original. So that's basically how I create a voice for myself.
Okay.
And I make sure that I always express what my current opinion is. For example, even if it's a sponsored post or something, I always make sure that I bring out all the aspects of that particular topic that I'm covering.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So what's the best thing about being a fashion blogger, or rather, a lifestyle blogger?
I think it's amazing how many people you get to meet.
Mm-hmm.
I love meeting new people and interacting with different kinds of people from all walks of life, and I get to do that a lot with fashion blogging. I also get to work with a lot of different ideas that I can put into a certain form through, a photo shoot or a blog post or something like that. So I think that's something that I really love about fashion blogging.
And is fashion a part of your everyday life?
Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm lucky enough to work in a office that doesn't really have a dress code or anything.
Correct.
Like that. So, so we get to experiment a lot in terms of outfits and stuff. And I mean, I'm known in the office as somebody who likes dressing up and who has a certain sense of style and all of that.
Okay, great. So what is your personal style statement?
I like to think of it as a mix between minimalism and statement. So I know that sounds contradictory, but it's more like I incorporate one statement piece with a couple of basic outfit pieces.
All right. So when it comes to your blog, I mean, blogging in India, I mean, even I would say worldwide, when it's a smaller audience, I mean, the blogger normally takes care of all aspects like marketing, SEO, production, everything. So do you take care of everything on your own?
Yeah, I do. I just have help with photography mainly. I work with different kinds of photographers for my photo shoots on my blog, but otherwise, most of it is taken care of by me itself.
All right. So when it comes to photography, I mean, what apps do you use to edit photos? I mean, can you share your photo editing routine with us, or is it completely done outsourced?
It's completely outsourced actually as of now.
Oh, great. Okay.
So when it comes to my Instagram account, I usually take pictures for it myself.
Okay.
Except for the blog post pictures, my everyday pictures are taken by me itself.
Okay.
I don't really use any photo editing apps as of now because I do basic editing in the sense adjusting the lighting and the colors and tones and everything. But I don't like to keep things too artificial as well.
Got it.
That's one thing. yeah.
So moving on to Instagram. So you're on Instagram as Sartorial Secrets. What do you post mostly on Instagram? Is it a mimic of your blog, or is it different?
So it's a mix of my blog and me.
Okay.
So I would say, So there are aspects of my blog that I showcase on Instagram, but there's also little snippets from my life that I put up over there.
And any Instagrammers whom you really like?
Uh, so there are a few that I follow. There's the Man Repeller. There's Style. There's Rati Tehri Singh, who's an Indian beauty blogger.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing your fellow bloggers or Instagrammers just have to try, what's it going to be?
In what?
I mean, like any product or any app or anything that they should really try, in your opinion, what should it be?
I think VSC Cam is a very essential app for photo editing, and and I think that's about it. Yeah.
All right. So coming to brands, I mean, what's your favorite part about being an influencer?
I think the fact that you have that power to actually inform people about something that's really amazing or new in the market, and you have that way of putting across something that's new through your own ideas. So it's like a totally different kind of a way of expressing a product as compared to your regular advertising and all of that.
Correct. Okay. And what do you like best about partnering with brands?
I would say, I think I get to work, like it depends on the brand, but sometimes I get to work with brands that have their own really interesting ideas and ways to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not directly, I like those brands that actually make an effort to work with us and brainstorm with us and figure out how best we can work together.
Okay.
So,
and how is are more brands signing on or approaching you to endorse your products?
They are, but at the same time, I would say the scene in India still, has a long way to go, I would say, because there's a certain assumption that influencers are, that influencers don't really need to be paid or...
Oh, yeah, correct.
All of that.
Okay.
So I think that way there's a long way to go, but I think it's slowly catching up, and it looks positive so far.
Okay. So in your opinion, what is the most essential trait a blogger should have?
I think a blogger needs to have their own view on things, like their own voice, and they also need to be able to express themselves through words. I think that's one of the most essential parts of it. So bringing in your own humor or bringing in your own personality through your words.
Correct. What would your advice be on the importance of, let's say, original content and of course quality on content?
I think that's the most important thing, because there can be a tendency to get a little bit lazy and maybe not really put that much of effort. Everyone has their off days, right?
Yeah, correct.
So at the same time, you need to think about what you're putting out there. And what you put out there should be a reflection of who you are, and it should be original, and it should be of a quality that your readers will love to read. So it's all about keeping that end reader in mind and giving your best to it.
Yeah. How has the growth been since you started a year back? Has it far exceeded what you expected?
Definitely. It was more of a passion for me, and I honestly didn't expect to be approached by brands or get into the whole professional blogging aspect of it. But it was quite heartening to see that there was a steady growth, and I started getting to work with brands and getting to actually get much more of a readership.
Okay, great. There's so many fashion blogs or lifestyle blogs today in India. In what way does your blog differ from any of those? Probably one aspect that makes it differ. in your view?
I think I would say authenticity.
Okay, great.
I tend not to write. I tend not to write stuff that's always uh, always good or always bad. I always make sure that I express myself to whatever my opinion is.
All right. So moving on to your career in general. So, I mean, over time,
Yeah.
who has inspired you the most?
In terms of my career or
Oh,
in terms of
generally,
my
it can
blog?
be anything. Just generally, who's inspired you the most?
I would say my mom.
All right. And
Actually, my mom has been working for the past 35
oh,
years,
wow. Okay.
and she recently retired. She used to work for the WHO, and
Mm-hmm.
I just admire her for how organized she is in her life, and how she's managed to balance everything, every aspect of her life so well, and she's always been the thorough professional when it comes to her work,
All right. And what's the sum?
and
All right.
she's never compromised on quality. Yeah.
Great. And some of the best advice you've been given.
Don't postpone stuff. Do it.
All right.
That's what I've been told. Yeah.
All right. And anything at present that's getting you really excited? Any launch or any feature coming up?
I think I'm excited for the new year because I have a lot planned in terms of my fashion aspect of my blog,
Okay.
in terms of photo shoots and everything. So I'm planning to do a lot more experimentative work in that front.
All right. And where do you see yourself and your blog, let's say, in the next 2 to 3 years?
Hopefully, hopefully my blog will be one of the top blogs in India.
Great.
I'm working on it, and I hope to see that happen.
Oh, I'm sure. All the best with that. So moving on to something we call a quick fire round, simple, brief answers. Okay.
Yes.
So when people ask you, what do you do? How do you answer that?
Sorry?
When people ask you what you do, how do you answer that?
Yeah. I say that I'm a marketer and a blogger. I just keep it simple.
Okay. What's the first word that comes to mind when I say work?
Blog, actually.
Family?
Mom.
Technology?
Smartphone.
Food?
Pizza.
Designer?
Coco Chanel.
All right. And what application or service are you using for, let's say, travel?
I don't travel a lot.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to change that in the new year.
All right. And schedule?
But I usually use the Skyscanner to check out
Okay. All right.
flight prices. And I do that a lot. I mean, I check out a destination and then I look at
All right.
flight prices and then start planning my own trip in my head.
And scheduling your meetings?
I use Outlook.
All right.
I'm old school that way. Yeah.
What's your favorite accessory you cannot live without?
A necklace. I mean, I always have to have a statement necklace that I wear with every outfit.
And what piece of tech can't you live without?
My phone, definitely.
Your favorite city globally?
New York.
Oh, great. So finally, Nandi, one last thought or piece of advice that you want to give our listeners.
So if you have a dream, I'd say don't put it off. Like, do it, put your mind to it, and you're going to see the results very soon.
All right. Please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also Sartorial Secrets.
So you can visit my blog at www.sartorialsecrets.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you can email me if you have any questions at contact@sartorialsecrets.com.
All right, great. Again, Nandini, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and inspiring our listeners to start their own fashion and lifestyle ventures. And all the very best at building Sartorial Secrets.
Thank you so much.
So do visit sartorialsecrets.com and visit us at theasianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes and leave a review on your thoughts about the show and particularly this partnership. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.